Alrighty guys, so going right into our live training today, and the topic of discussion is SEO tactics and how to guarantee your listing beats your competitors. Okay, so firstly, what is Amazon SEO? So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it is the process of optimizing your product listing to improve the chances of it appearing at the top of Amazon search result pages for the relevant keywords. And why is it important? And I cannot stress this enough. This is how your customers find your product. If you're not using relevant keywords in your listing, how are customers going to find you? So without really thinking about this and putting strategies, your customers won't find you. So we know that Amazon is a huge marketplace. It has thousands of items listed in every category and subcategory. So this is how your customer finds you, and SEO increases your visibility, drives traffic, and boosts your conversions. How does Amazon SEO work? It works via the algorithm, and the algorithm is the entire Amazon recommendation system, which includes its search component. And it is a core ranking algorithm that decides which product should rank on Amazon and where on Amazon. And there are two very important key factors, and that is relevance and performance. Products that are most relevant to what customers are searching for and have the best performance history get the top spot. Okay, so firstly, if you're a new listing, you need to be relevant. And then once you're relevant, customers are able to find your product, and that's when you start getting those conversions, and that's when your performance gets going. All right, so how do we make our listing relevant? Keywords, keywords, keywords. If you have not done a Keywords on Fire session, it should be almost one of the first things that you do when you are doing your product research. So why are keywords so important? Relevance of Amazon listing is established based on keywords. Amazon uses keywords to understand the context of your listing and find relevant products in response to users' search queries. If you want to rank on Amazon, you must include all the keywords in your listing related to your product. And what I want to touch on here is that keywords, researching your keywords is so important because it's not what you believe the keywords or the search terms people are using. It's not what you're using, it is what your customer uses. Okay, and that's why researching on your keywords is super important throughout your whole journey of Amazon, whether it's product research, listing optimization, your PPC campaign. You should be looking at your keywords and reviewing your keywords on a constant basis in your Amazon business. All right, so on that note, I'm going to show you Keywords on Fire. So that's step number one, how you find your most relevant, powerful, and impactful keywords. So again, it is not what you believe that you want to write in keywords, it is what your customer is using. And number two, what do you actually do with those keywords? So you're using the listing optimizer tool. You use your keyword list that again has the most relevant, powerful, and impactful keywords, and you are guaranteed to beat your competitor's listing. That is the aim, and I'm going to go through the two tools to show you what you can do. All right, so now I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to quickly just have a look what's happening in the chat. Everyone's still there? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little bit of background of what I'm going to be doing our keywords and the listing on. So I'm using the example that I am launching or have launched a product in the dog toy category. This is on amazon.com.au, so in the Australian marketplace. I'm Aussie. I love the Australian marketplace because the opportunity is huge. So as you can see, this niche, awesome niche score at 60%. The revenue is picking up. Some of the top revenues is looking really promising, which is exciting. And the launch budget, let's say my launch budget is 10 grand, it fits under there as well. Now I'm going to show you a specific product, and I'm going to pretend that this is my product, okay? So just so we all know what it looks like, I'm working with a dog toy bundle. It seems I've got title, I've got already a few bullet points, and I've also got I've got a brand. Okay, so I'm establishing a brand as well. So I just wanted to give you an overview of, like, if you already have a a product and you've already launched it, but it's not performing to how, obviously how you want it to be or how it's expected, I'm going to show you what you can actually do to make sure that you are fully optimizing your listing, and how to exactly do that. So now that you know this is my pretend product of how it's looking, I'm going to show you the process of how I would be to readdress the listing and make sure that I'm fully optimizing and making it relevant. Okay, so firstly, I'm in the ZonGuru dashboard. Firstly, I'm going to run a Keywords on Fire session. Now, again, Keywords on Fire is probably one of my favorite tools, only because it is used at literally, again, at every stage of your Amazon journey. Product research, listing optimization, PPC, at every stage, you should be using this tool. So if you haven't used this tool, I would highly recommend. And what this tool does, it is a reverse ASIN lookup. So by popping in you can do the search is in two different ways, by placing in the ASIN, so up to 5 ASINs, or by product phrase. And what it actually does, it compiles the most relevant, impactful keywords that your customers are searching, but also what your competitors are using as well. Because remember, we need to make sure that we're using the keywords that our competitors are using, but also the ones that are not. And especially the ones that are not, we want to take advantage of that. So for today's example, I'm going to add by phrase, so dog toy, make sure it's within the relevant marketplace, because each marketplace results are going to vary. Search. This shows you your top 25 competitors. I usually go to select all. I do like to skim and make sure that all of them are relevant. So for example, this looks, I'm not quite sure what this is. If there's something not relevant, so this is a seat cover, not relevant if I'm selling toys, so I'm just going to take that out. Otherwise, I'm going to write add a product, name the session, dog toy, Australia, run. And that takes 2 to 5 minutes. As you can see, it's working. I've already created one previously to save time, so I've opened. So Keywords on Fire, again, you've got your most relevant, impactful keywords that your competitors, top 25 competitors are using, and what your customers are using. Okay, this is the information that you need to make sure is within your listing to make sure that you are relevant to what your audience or your customers are looking for. So just if you're not familiar with this tool, these are my 23 competitors. I've got 300 unique keywords. This is the total revenue that these keywords are bringing in, and the total search volume. So these are my keywords. As you can see, you've got short tail keywords, long tail keywords, and you've got a lot of information here. Keywords on Fire is fantastic, again, because you use it at every stage, but it can be overwhelming. So depending on what stage you're in, that's the information that you're looking for. If I'm doing product research, I don't particularly need to be looking at PPC bid. I can definitely be mindful of it, but I am just more so depending on what information you need to look at. So right now I'm looking at the most relevant keywords. I can see the ZonGuru score. So that's the score that ZonGuru gives the keyword more so bang for your buck of what you should be using in your listing. We want to know search volume is very important. And I love using these, as you can see here. This is what my competitors aren't and are using. So my top competitor, one of them, is this box here. And as you can see, you've got green, yellow, red. What this actually indicates is they are on spot 3 for the keyword of dog toys. And the reason that it's red is saying that is indicating to me that it's highly competitive. But as you can see here, there's a dash. So that means that this competitor is not using the long tail keyword dog toys for aggressive chewers. So you can see here where your competition is really utilizing the keywords, but also identifying the gaps. And the gaps is where you really want to make sure that you are using those keywords because they're low competition. But obviously, this dog toys for aggressive chewers is something that my customers are looking up, but none of my competition have utilized it. Except this one, but they're on spot 105. So that's something that I want to take into consideration. So now you've got your keywords, you need to make sure that they're saved. Now, saving your keywords it's done here. Save, I'm going to write dog toy, save, and it's saved. But what you can also do is, depending on what keywords you're using where. So for example, I only wanted to save my long tail keywords. Long tail keywords I'm definitely using in my PPC campaign, in the halo effect, for example. So I can go to keywords, contains number of words greater or equal to, and let's go, 3 or more words. And then what this does, it only has the keywords that have 3 or more words, and then I can save that as dog toys, long tail keywords. And you can do that for short tail keywords. You can do that for pricing or PPC. So there are filters that you can add and then have different categorized saved keywords depending on where else you are using in the tools. Okay, so there I have saved my keywords. Now I need to actually take those keywords and put it in my listing, but I want to know how effective they are. And that's what our listing optimizer tool does. On the left-hand side, I'm clicking into listing optimizer. Now this, I was speaking to a lady, I was having a session with her a few weeks ago, and she hadn't actually used this tool yet, and she was just about to launch. Now this tool, if you have not used it, again, get on it, because you need to make sure that you're out optimizing your competitors. Amazon is a visual platform. Everything is side by side. However, if you're not using the relevant keywords and you're not out optimizing your competitors, how is your product going to show up? Okay, so what this tool does, that it guarantees that you are out optimizing your competitors. You are going to show up on page 1, but also there is a little bit of a benefit. There's something that, not a benefit, but a killer feature. So I'm going to show you that in a moment. So I'm going to start a brand new session just to show you exactly how I would go about it. So I'm going to, as you can see, I already had a look, but dog toy, I'm going to write, again, Australia, start new session. There are 2 components of this. We've got the keywords and we've got the listing. So on the left-hand side, you go to add. I'm adding or importing the keywords on fire session that I just did. So I click in here. These are all my saved keywords. I'm going to go to dog toy, and I want to have all keywords. I want to see all keywords, load keywords here. So here are my keywords, the information that is given. We've got search volume, keywords on fire score, so bang for a buck of how useful that keyword is going to be in your listing. And these 2 components will become relevant in a moment. So here now, I'm going to add first my listing. So this is the listing. This is my listing. I can copy the ASIN like so and pop it in here. So by popping the ASIN in, add listing, and what ZonGuru does, it collects all the information from the listing. I've got my title, I've got my bullet points, back-end search terms. But then the amazing thing about this tool is, again, we want to make sure that we are out optimizing my competitors. How do I know that? It is by direct comparison. So what I can actually do is I go into Amazon and I go to my top competitors. So say, let's see who my top, she's number 2, click, definitely worse. I can click on here, saves the ASIN, comes back into here, paste my competitor's ASIN, bing, bada, boom. My competitor's listing is going to come up. We can do this for up to 8 competitors. You can directly compare it side by side. So I want to have also relevant products to something similar that I'm saving as well. So again, adding. Do I want to add one more just to make sure? Who else is doing well in this niche? This one, 39 grand. Let's pop this one in there as well. Okay, so this is my listing of my product. And now I've got 3 competitors listing. So I have side-by-side a view of exactly what my competition has in their listing, their title, their bullet points. And the game changer is I also have access to their back-end search terms. So these are the search terms that are not visible on their listing on Amazon, but now I know what my competitors are using in their back-end search terms. And this is where the advantage of using this tool really comes into effect. Now also, we are comparing, we need to out-optimize. What are we comparing? We are comparing the optimization score, and the optimization score is the overall quality of your listing calculated by the strength of the keywords used and where they are placed. So this is my product. At the moment, my product score is 10,000. This competitor's 15,000, so they are out-optimizing me at the moment. These other competitors, they, as you can see, are not utilizing it. So if this was my listing, I'd be definitely going in to see, okay, what exactly can I improve to make a stronger listing to out-optimize. So at the moment, we want to beat this 15,000, obviously making it as strong as possible. And this score is determined, again, by the keywords that are used on the left-hand side and where they are placed. So as you can see here now, these columns are now filled in. So I can see that for the dog toy, for my listing here, it's shaded. That means it is used somewhere. And this column here indicates to what extent. If it is a star colored in, exact match in the title. If not, it's a broad match, a tick generally included in the listing. If there is a gap, that means it's not used at all. And then here, as you can see, these are bold. That means they haven't been used at all. So I'm going to make some adjustments just in the title, and I want you to watch how the listing optimization score changes. Again, all the words that I'm adding is from the list on the left, okay? Make sure, again, the title is what the customers see when they're on the result page, so they are reading it. Don't just cram it full of keywords. Keywords obviously are very important, but if it doesn't make sense, it looks a bit spammy, and people are like, no, next. So make sure it does make sense. All right, so I am, again, making changes based on, I like to do a little bit of formatting as well. So dog toys, I'm going to remove puppy elsewhere. I've already got puppy. Repeating a word over and over doesn't increase it either. So dog chew, toy, I'm going to write puppy, toy for playtime and teeth. I had, destructible, so squeak, soft, plush, toys and dog flying disc included. What else is there? Puppy, teething toys. Okay, so as you can see, I added, was it 5 words? 5 words. And I have jumped by 9, almost 10,000 points from my previous 10. And already, just by adding those words, I have out-optimized one of my top competitors. So that is the power of making sure that you are actually using relevant keywords. I am over by 3, but I can change the and here. In here to fit it in, if you're looking at that. So just by adding 5 words that I got from my keywords on Fire Session, I have made my listing more relevant now than my competitors. So that's number 1. And that's just by doing in the title. I can obviously add more keywords in the description and the bullet points as well. But now I'm also going to go ahead and add more in the search terms. So back-end search terms, this is, again, words that Amazon sees but our customers do not. And actually go and click on these words that are bold and it adds them. Make sure they are relevant to your listing. Okay, so for example, I'm unsure if that's like a brand. Like you can put your brands in there, but again, make sure it is relevant. So maybe a dog toothbrush. I know that a lot of the toys that for dogs are, used for their dental hygiene, if you like. If you want to put in the word large, Faru, I think, is a brand. So you can add all of these, donkey, dog toy, so you can knots, toy. So you can add all of these search terms and it pastes it straight in your back-end search terms. And now you can see my listing has jumped by 11,000. I am beating my top competitors, and that's exactly what I want. So right now I know that I've out-optimized my competitors. I'm making my listing relevant to Amazon, therefore it is going to show up on page 1. Okay, make it relevant first, and then your customers can find you. Then your conversion rate will go up, your performance increases, and then you will rank higher for those keywords as well. So that's how easy it can be, and I cannot stress it enough. If you have not done this, you need to do it, because you need to make sure, how do you beat your competitors? You need to first be aware of what exactly they're doing. The epic thing about this tool as well is obviously your ZonGuru account is attached or connected to your Seller Central account. So by clicking on this, you go publish on Amazon, press OK. It takes you straight to your Amazon seller account, Seller Central account, and it posts it directly there. So there's no copy and pasting going backwards and forwards. Obviously, that's always allows for error. So it pastes it directly there, and then you're good to go to be live on Amazon. So that's how easy it can be to make a killing listing, making sure you're relevant, and making the most of the Amazon algorithm. So thoughts on that, guys? That was a really high-level overview, but I wanted to show you two things of how simple it is. You've got the, so I'm just looking at the questions. I've got a question, the video quality is very low, you can't read your screen. Has that been like that the whole time, or is that possibly an individual's internet? I hope you've been able to see this. All right, so it shows you an overview of exactly how easy it can be, but how essential and important. Just because it is super important doesn't have to be complicated. A lot of Amazon is complicated, but this does not have to be like that. So keywords on fire session, you're investigating the keywords that are most impactful, relevant to your customers and what your top competitors are using. Good, you've been able to see it, awesome. Unfortunately, the person that wasn't, it might actually be your own internet connection, but these are recorded, so just reach out to support and they will shoot you the video. So keywords on fire session, save it, and then make sure you're using them in your listing. Okay, make sure you have your top competitors side by side, see what they're doing, and then do it better. That's what I want you, and it can be fun. All right, it can be fun. The whole process is fun. It is fun, but those are probably my two top favorite tools, as well as the Chrome extension, because it's epic as well. All the tools are amazing, but because they are so simple to use, but they have such a massive impact on your business. Now, I see that there's a few questions. I'm just going to roll back. Paul, does it always max out at 300 unique keywords in keywords on fire? Yes, so it searches up 300 unique keywords. Because remember, they're most relevant, they're most impactful. So, you know, if you have 1,000 keywords, you want the strongest out of those 1,000. We don't want a billion of them. So those are the 300 unique keywords that are most relevant. Those are the ones that you're going to use. And also, if you've got 1,000 relevant keywords, you can't fit all of that into your listing as well. So for keywords on fire, it will stop at 300. It will give you the best of the 300. Paul, once you have created your title and you are now selling, you can go back and update your title at a later date using Listing Optimizer. Yeah, that's correct. You have the power. So, for example, for this example, I was pretending my listing had already been published. I can go in there, change my listing, import it onto my Seller Central account, and it's published again. I just want to say, though, is that even though you can edit it, Amazon doesn't make it easy. So we had an instance that it actually took several weeks for our listing to get updated. We changed, the title got updated faster, but then the dot points, it literally took weeks, and we reached out to Amazon support multiple times. So I have to say that Amazon sometimes doesn't make it too easy for us, but theoretically, yes, you are allowed to edit it, but I wouldn't rush to post this. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to post it today and then make edits tomorrow, I would just wait until tomorrow, because it will save the hassle. Because again, Amazon doesn't like a lot of change, because if you're changing things every single day, it can detect it and flag it as spam as well. So that would be my advice on that. Viv's question, how long does it take for your listing to move up on the page after optimizing? So there are a lot of factors that are included in that. So firstly, obviously, you need to make sure that you are using, so let's say you are using the top keywords, okay, and you have 100% your listing is optimized. It depends on how competitive your niche is. That's a massive one. Have you just launched? So are you in your honeymoon phase? So remember, when you are just launching, Amazon gives you this grace period. It's like, some people say it's 2 weeks, some people say it's 4 weeks, but it gives you an advantage, and once Amazon helps you rank in those 2 weeks to see how you perform. So in those 2 weeks, I'd be, going a ham on PPC, making sure you're fully optimizing, and then Amazon sees, okay, this is a new product, let's give them a chance, let's see if our customers want to buy their product. And then people usually see their listing actually drop after this grace period, because that maybe they didn't perform as well, but they need to climb the ranking. So how long it takes, that is up to Amazon, and I can't answer that, because it's depending on how competitive your ranking is. Are you actually getting any sales? Because people can have a really optimized listing and it looks beautiful and it's perfect, but maybe it's just not a product that people are buying. So remember, it's relevance, but then it's also how your listing is performing. So say you've made a listing that is super relevant, however, it's say on page 4, and we know that usually people kind of stop at page 1, unfortunately, is that you need to increase your ranking by your marketing, by your promotions, by your PPC, so that your listing is showing up on those keywords and via PPC. So say I'm on page 3, I'm for dog toy. My campaign, my PPC campaign includes the short tail keyword dog toy. Then I'm getting conversions through that. Then my performance increases, therefore my ranking will increase as well. I hope that helped. Paul, do you have a library of previous webinars? Yes, we most certainly do. Go to ZonGuru, click on We do, or you can just ask support and I can send you there, because I can't off the top of my mind. Actually, let me have a look. ZonGuru. Yeah, but we have them all there. So they're so cool, and even our demos, if you go to, we have live demos that have been recorded, and you can go there. It's under Resource Center. They're all there, or again, reach out to support. What is the maximum number of search term Amazon allows in the listing? So each section in a listing has different search terms. So if I quickly share my screen again, I will show you, we show you what that is. Turn on. What is the maximum number of, yeah, I read that right. All right, so as you can see here, the title can only have 200 words or characters, sorry. Characters, so each bullet point 500, description 2000. So it depends on what area you're referring to, but there is a cutoff. So when you're in here, it will actually flag. So if I click writing here, it should turn red and it will let me know that I'm over. So I need to make changes to that. Yes, the webinar recording is available. You need to reach out to support and they can send it to you. In that case, is it better to cut and paste what we have created in Listing Optimizer? Christine, I don't think it is better to do that, because if you're cutting and pasting, there's room for error there. So as I said, in the Listing Optimizations tool, you click here. So I finished. I know all my characters are where they should be. I click here, publish on Amazon, press OK. And then all of this information, including your backend search terms, everything will be added there. So I highly recommend using that feature, because if you're copying and pasting, again, you're leaving room for error that is unnecessary, because it's there. It's obviously saving you time as well, because then you're going backwards and forwards, you're rereading as well. Viv, no worries. What is the maximum number of search terms in the listing? So I've already answered that. I don't know the full amount. You'd have to go in there and add them up. But each section has their own amount. Oh, Christine, because you only said 2 weeks. Sorry. So sorry if I was unclear there. So what I mean is that any update on Amazon can take any amount of time. So that it wasn't that using that specific tool, is that Amazon allows editing, but it can be that you may edit the title and it updates straight away, but then another time it takes several weeks. And that's just based off of my personal experience. We had a listing that, we launched, and then we had our trial period, and we were doing some revamping, if you like, and then later on we went back to edit our listing, and we had a bit of issues with Amazon in editing our listing, but that wasn't to do with how we imported the edits at all. That was that's just, we are in Amazon's jungle. We are at the mercy of what they decide to do. So that was what I was referring to. Not it doesn't matter how you decide to edit it. Any more questions, guys? I hope that you've got some value from that. I know that this process, this journey, it can be overwhelming and stressful, but my bit of advice in that is just more so practice. Like, the more you use the tools, the more familiar you are with what price points you're looking at, what data you're looking at, how quickly you can do it. So I would even be, you can do practice runs even if you're not there. Christine, okay, so not just because it came from ZonGuru. No, not at all. That's right. Yeah, so to practice going through all these things and make sure, these tools are set up to make sure that you are set up to support you through the whole journey. Great information, great to see the tool in action. Awesome, and I find that it's super beneficial. I've been on a few one-on-one calls with people, and I found that I've actually gone through this process quite a few times, and I've realized how valuable the information is, because it is something that you need to go over and over again. Can you please explain why the niche scores are very different in the Australian marketplace? Each marketplace is completely different. If this hair clip is absolutely smashing it in US, does not mean that it's going to be smashing it in Australia. And that is because each marketplace is different. So, for example, Australia and US, don't quote me on this, I think it has US population is massive. It's over 300 million people are in that country. In Australia, we just have over 25 million. So even our demographic is completely is different. So those are things that you need to consider. Australian marketplace is up and coming. The situation of what's happening in the world right now has definitely boosted online sales, e-commerce in general, and Australia is Amazon is becoming more popular in Australia. It's nowhere near as popular as it is in America. However, it is growing. So each marketplace is different. The demographic is different. Their use of Amazon is different. And therefore, the niche score is going to be different because the demand is different. The launch budgets are different. The revenue potential is different. So another example for Australia is that I love using US to predict what may happen in another marketplace. So for myself, we're currently in the process of launching a product in the Australian marketplace. So our product research went something that we were exploring the US marketplace, and we found a product that was absolutely killing it. However, it was way too competitive. The launch budget was 150 grand, way out of our price range, and to penetrate that marketplace in America would be quite difficult. However, then in Australia, we found that yes, there was demand, and this is based on your own discretion as well, but our own judgment. But we decided that, okay, it is super popular in America. The numbers in Australia are obviously going to be significantly lower. However, they are promising. And when you are doing your research in the different marketplaces, for example, in US, I'm looking for a revenue of over 10,000, whereas in Australia, I'm looking for a revenue over 5,000. So it's different marketplaces because Amazon is used differently. So I hope that answered that question. Catch water is great, and certainly the more you use, the more you gain the benefit. Thank you for your time. You're very, very welcome. Are there going to be other webinars to review other tools in ZonGuru? Yes, so we have a weekly training. So it's between myself, Kimberly, John. We actually have a new team member as well. Her name is also Kimberly. She'll be jumping on. So we have a weekly live training, and we try to go over different subjects. I have to say that talking about keywords and listing optimization is probably the most popular, because that's where people really. Then you need to hear it a few times to wrap your head around it. But yeah, live trainings every week. You can register to all of them, get reminders for all of them. Also, we have the resources that even go to our live demos, because then you can just watch the recordings of one of us doing a run through the tools as well. You obviously, when you're on your ZonGuru dashboard, each tool on the right-hand side under help has an interactive tour and often a video going through the tools as well. So you all have, we try to give as much educational content as possible, and those resources are there for you. If you're going through a tool and you've looked at those help resources available to you, again, then reach out to support. Our support team is international. We try to have all time zones covered, so that's what that's there for. Let me go. If we update the keywords, title, etc. in ZonGuru, would it automatically update in Amazon? Not automatically. So right now I've been playing around. It's only if you press the publish and then log into your Seller Central. So you don't have to, you can play around with it as much as you want. It won't publish until you click the publish button, which I went through a few times now. And then also Amazon then needs to review it and approve it as well. So that's why there's a bit of a lag. It's not that you press publish and it's there. Amazon also reviews it. And that's with any edits, not just from ZonGuru, but any edits that you do via Seller Central account. No worries at all. Good morning and thank you from Cairns. Welcome, Nathan. Paul, thanks. This is my first one. Just signed up to the product last week. Pretty awesome so far. Awesome. Yeah, welcome, Paul. We're all about education. If anyone isn't on our Facebook community, it's called Amazon Seller Network. Is our Facebook group. I'm always on there. I actually post a live demo on there monthly. All our events are posted in there. Our podcast, any updates to Amazon regulations, we post on there. So if you're not part of that community, join us. We're on Instagram as well. We share things. So we're all here to help you. And I feel like the Amazon journey can be a lonely one because it's not that, so many people are doing it. You're often, by yourself. It's like 9 p.m. after you finish your 9 to 5 and you're working on this side hustle. So it can be a lonely journey. And I'm fortunate enough that, my brother sells in Amazon. My partner and I are now involved. So, it's taken time. But that's why I love these live trainings. I love asking you guys to get involved in the chats because I feel like I'm talking to myself. I only see myself, so it's good to get that interaction and know also that there is a community out there working on and doing the same things you are as well. Michael, hey everyone, can you look at some PPC options soon? So when you say options, just the subject of PPC, I definitely write that down. I myself, on I believe the 23rd of September, I am doing a training on the halo effect. So it's a PPC strategy using long tail keywords. So I'm doing a training on that at the end of next month. But I would definitely let the other trainers know that PPC is something that everyone wants to know about PPC. Admittedly, it is not my favorite subject because it is. There's so much to it. But yes, I hear you on that, and I'll let know. Facebook group name, Amazon. I'll write it in. Amazon Seller Network. Amazon Seller Network is our Facebook group. Amazon Seller Network. So you have to pop in a few details, and then I go in and confirm you and add you to the group. All right, guys, if there's no more questions, I'm going to wrap it up there. Saturday morning and brunch is calling. I know there's a lot of Aussies on there as well, so I hope you have a beautiful weekend. From the US, I know it's Friday, so enjoy your Friday afternoon, enjoy your weekend. But otherwise, everyone keep safe, keep healthy, and it's been awesome to chatting with you all. And I will see you next time. Bye.